Welcome to Timmy Tokwe Shines Media. I made a stop by the African Marketplace, a place in Sacramento, California, where entrepreneurs can showcase and sell their products. I came across Anya Jaleane Davis, a prolific and exceptional writer whose love for storytelling has led her to write and author numerous spectacular books for children, books of poems, and riddles. And according to her, she still had a lot more books coming up. I had an interesting conversation with her on her inspiration and the importance of Black representation in books and literature.
I also am a poet, so I started out years ago just doing poetry. So now here I am with the children's books. I have books of poems and riddles. My mother loved riddles, and she was a storyteller herself.
Wow.
I also have done a book of riddles and a coming of age.
Wow. So, how do you get inspiration to write all these amazing books? I mean, it's so many of them. And how do you get inspiration to write this many books?
I tell you, it came out of just understanding that, because I'm also what you call a guest teacher. And so it came out of the understanding that a lot of the books that I was picking up, they had our faces, and they're really great books, because I think books are for every child. I don't think, the books should be just limited to, a specific culture of child. But I noticed that a lot of the books for us were not being written by us. And I picked up a book one day that I was really inspired by, and I forget the name of the author. I was very inspired by her. And I said, I've got so many stories of children, and me as a child, my friends as children, my family. And I just began, putting the pieces together of writings that I had done back in college. As a matter of fact, Johari and the Big Yellow Moon, he was one of the first stories that I'd ever written. And one of my, she wasn't really a classmate, but she worked in the establishment of the college that I eventually graduated from. And she was really smitten with my work, and she wanted to take one of the stories and read it, and she did. And that was the last time I ever saw her. She and I didn't connect again. And I tell people that was the only story that I ever lost. It was a children's story, and I don't remember it. But Johari made it, so did Weeping Willow Tree. And there was one more, The Shabby Greenhouse was also a story that I had written way back, in my first years of college.
Now, how important do you think representation is when it comes to literature books? How important is it, do you think?
It's extremely important, because how can I tell someone else's story? As an African American woman, it'd be pretty challenging for me to say that I could tell another culture or person's story. I mean, I could do it, but could I really do justice to it? Maybe so, but for me, representation is extremely important. Without it, our stories don't get told, and we can't know where we have been and where we're at now, and possibly where we're going. So storytelling, representation has been ever since there was a world. Without it, we can't, we don't exist, basically. Without our stories, we don't exist.
Do you have any more books coming up in the pipeline that you're working on?
I certainly do.
Can you share?
Yes, I do. So I do have a novel. I have a novel coming up. I won't reveal the name yet, but I'm putting together, it should be here in a couple of months, maybe at the latest 3 months. I'm putting together a book signing, and also I have 5 more children's books that are already ready to go. But of course, I have a small a handful of people that help me, so I can't move any faster than what they are able to move. I'm very appreciative to them, happy that they're helping me. And of course, I don't know if I mentioned, my daughter is the illustrator my children's books. So I just love what I do. Some
That's
people say it's a lot, but to me it's like second nature. I want to tell the story comes to me, and if it's a story that I can tell and really do it justice, I like to tell it, especially when it comes to children's stories. I like them to understand that sometimes the narrative seems very what happens with us, sometimes the narrative is always about the struggle. And I want children to know, our children to know, it doesn't have to be about the struggle all the time. It's just ordinary things, such as Tangerine Baby Doll, when they go picking in Miss Dana's yard and they find this beautiful black baby doll. Or Weeping Willow, when she's just, having, she has a big imagination and she's going through a dream. Or Johari, who's fascinated with the moon. Our stories are really very similar to other children's stories, and they're the same. The only difference is that we happen to be African American, and we have culturally a little bit of differences. But I think children should be able to pick up these kind of books and be happy. I don't think they should have to feel, so unhappy about a story that they read. So I like to change the narrative. I think the narrative right now is either it's on the side of being fantasy driven, which is I don't think is something that always needs to happen, although it's okay to a certain extent, or either it's about racism. And while I know racism exists, I feel like it's okay for our children to take a break from that and just be normal. Just go picking apples, or go, you're playing with each other, or go for a bike ride. And this is what all these stories are waiting for daddy, or getting ready for festivities on, holidays and Christmas, and just ordinary things. I think the book that I most that I was commissioned to do was Baby Wings for Grandmother, and this deals with it's told through the eyes of a 9-year-old boy who I didn't know if I could write this because I was asked to write it, and I didn't really know how children dealt with grandparents being sick, but it turned out to be a really, really beautiful book. It really has a happy ending because we get to understand how he, as a child, really feels about his grandmother, and all kind of beautiful things come out of that. He has the utmost affection for his grandmother, and he wants to be near her as she's going through this sickness that she's going through. So that's as close as I get to in terms of the child dealing with certain issues, because the rest is really about the child just being a child and whatever that looks like, and that beautiful, happy ending, So that's who I am. I want to share my website, www.anyacreativity.com. So creativity is spelled just the way you spell it, and Anya is ANYACreativity.com. So that's AnyaCreativity.com. And also, if you want to reach out to me through email to book a creative writing class, you can go to anya.creativity@gmail.com. So, one more thing. I'm here at the Florence Square Market, African Market, every first and third Saturday from 12 to 5:30. And don't forget, we're going to be remodeling bigger and better, so we will be back in June. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Anya, for allowing me to come to your table today. I mean, this is amazing. What you're doing is amazing. It's commendable. And I wish you the very best moving forward.
Thank you.
And of course, we'd love to come over for your book signing or for other events that you have. I would love to be there.
Thank you, Miss Tammy. Thank you for just even reaching out to me. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to working with you more on these kind of projects, and thank you so much.